Well, I think the game went is about as I thought it might go. I think that we knew that Army was going to play for 60 minutes. They always do. I think Coach Alberici has done a very nice job with his team as far as the kind of style that they play to get as many goals as they can. And I thought we answered with, especially with Fopp on the face-off. I think he did an outstanding job. They threw the kitchen sink at him today. They had a pole early to face off against him, then they had 2 poles on the wings, and he did a tremendous job of getting the ball out to space and then picking it up himself and running with it and getting it to the open man, and as a result gave us a lot of possessions that we might not have had in different situations. So I thought he did a terrific job there. I think we got some great saves once again with this guy up here. Did a very nice job in the goal as his first year starting. And I think that while we were catching up offensively into the second quarter, I think our defense played pretty well the whole game as far as understanding their personnel and what we had to do. A couple mental errors at the defensive end of the field, but in all, I think they played pretty stingy today. So great win for Syracuse, and on to the next one.
What did you see out of Army's goalie today? What's kind of the message to the team when their goalie's racking up something like 18 saves? It seems like it's hard to keep guys not getting frustrated.
Yeah, I think that a lot of our shots came from so tight to the crease that we wanted our spacing a little bit better. The tighter you get to the goalie, he's just going to match your stick. And so when you have your stick up and you're really close to him, and you throw it, you can't get angles on it. So we're going to work on our spacing, get a little further out, so that we can change the plane of the ball on our shots. But some of them were in too tight. Now, that being said, I'm not going to take anything away from him. I thought he played a terrific game once again, 4-year starter, and there's a reason for that.
John, I think maybe a little for Drake too. You guys had 10 caused turnovers. You won the ground ball battle by 15, dominated face-offs. Even without Tyson, do you guys feel like you maybe just sort of started to wear down Army, when you're getting more possessions and then picking up more ground balls, winning possession back?
I thought so. I thought that we made them play a lot of defense, and they're in outstanding shape, obviously. And they use a few different poles and they use a bunch of shorties, but it's hard to make anybody play that much defense. But that being said, they won some big ground balls at the end of the game that I would have liked to got. But they played very good defensively, and they also shut off with their short stick, so that's pretty demanding, because it's one thing to change it up and do it once in a while, but to do it for almost 60 minutes, those guys are playing a lot of lacrosse, especially when this guy's getting us all those draws.
Drake, what did you sort of see from him?
Yeah, I mean, it was a pretty gritty effort from the boys today. A lot of tough ground balls, and I think we really wore those guys down, which is difficult to do because they're super athletic. So I was really proud of how the team played in that regard.
John, you mentioned in the past that you'll switch between Jacob and Danny because they both offer different things. I guess what was Jacob able to do today that kind of allowed him to get sustained success?
Well, we knew them coming in that they were going to have to do what they've been doing all year. Like I said earlier, they're facing off with a long pole. They've got 2 long poles on the wings. Their defensive middies are out there, and they're just trying to jam it up and turn it into a ground ball. And then if we pick it up, check our sticks with their poles and put it back on the ground again. So he did such a nice job of getting it, kind of feeling where their defense was, and then getting it out himself. And then in support, the other guys did a good job, being outlets for him once he picked it up.
Drake, that first possession, Army ends up scoring, but it's not after you had, I believe, 3 saves on that first possession. Even if you get scored on, that doesn't feel so good. Do you get confidence feeling like you see the ball well that first possession?
Honestly, I don't really think of the game too much like that. That's something I used to do, but I worry a lot about the next shot and just trying to save that one. I don't really keep track of stats or try to get confident during the game. I just try to stay the same the whole time.
I guess this is a question to Jacob. Could you just run around out there, in a physical game like that? How would you both describe, I know you have different aspects, but just the physicality of the game, the press box looks like bruising. How would you both describe how, that game felt down low there?
I mean, all throughout the week, we practiced during our fog drill, a pole coming on, and Sam Schluter did a good job, and Brett Barlow during that practice coming down on our arms, making sure, making it really difficult. So during the game, it just was kind of like second nature because we prepared so well for it during the week.
Yeah, I mean, we basically knew coming into this week that Army was physical. So I mean, watching the film, you could see like that in the crease. I mean, they throw the slashes, they sit back. I mean, their pulls weren't, I mean, that great with their feet, but they were very good with their sticks, and that definitely took a toll on us. But I mean, yeah, I mean, again, like you said, you could see from the press box how the game was really physical for sure, especially inside.
Again, for John and Drake, could you guys then talk about the job Nick Mellon did on Nick Turn? I think he only scored 1 goal, and that was in the fourth quarter, sort of his effort blanketing him.
Well, you know, Nick's been a great cover guy for us over the past few years, and he's very quick and he's strong, so he adapts to just about anybody he covers, and he has the ability to do that. And you know, that's what we do with Nick. We put him on the best guy, and I think he can get a lot of stops on some great attackmen.
Nick Mellon is probably the best cover defenseman I've ever played with. He's unbelievable feet. I've never seen anything like it. He's really impressive every game I get to watch. I'm just really thankful that I have him out there.
Drake, a bit of like a goalie battle kind of today with you making saves down one end, AJ making a bunch of saves down the other end. Do you feed off that at all, and the other guy down the other end is making a bunch of saves and you're making saves?
I think like subconsciously, every goalie's sort of like that. You know, you see a guy making a lot of saves, making really nice one-on-one saves. You sort of want to do the same thing at the other end. AJ, like Coach said, is a great goalie. I knew he was going to play well today, 4-year starter. I used to like watch him sort of like playing when I was younger. So yeah.
Coach, you mentioned this season that you guys are going to have to adjust to the shot clock. 3 games in, how do you guys feel about building and adjusting to the new rule?
I think we're doing a pretty good job with it. Even the end of the game last week, I thought we managed the clock fairly well. Today we did a pretty good job with it. Had a couple turnovers within some of the shot clocks that we would like to have used more time, but you know, we're getting better at it, and I think we practice with it every day, and you want it to be, you almost want to internally know in your head when you're getting down in that shot clock, and that's why we practice so much with it. And then we need to communicate. Where it becomes very confusing, I think, the shot clock doesn't turn off when the clock is running, if you know what I mean. So at the end of the game, if there's 15 seconds, or end of the quarter, there's 15 seconds left, and there could be 60 seconds on the shot clock. So one of the other things you have to manage is, hey, look at the real clock, because guys are so used to looking at the shot clock, and sometimes you can get confused because, like I said, there might be short time left in the quarter, but there's a lot of time on the shot clock. So we've got to adjust to that, like everybody does.
Coach, what allows you to have confidence in Jacob Buttermore's play? 3 goals against Colgate towards the end of last season, 2 goals today. What gives you that confidence to get him in there?
He's produced when he's gotten in, and he's been doing well in practice, and it should have got him out there more in the first game. So he's producing, and that's the bottom line. And he's playing well. He shot pretty well on a very hot goalie, and he's going to keep playing if he keeps producing like this.
And can you update us please on Tyson and Lucas?
Tyson, it was been a little too much for him to get out there today. I suppose if it was a playoff game, we could get out there. And then Lucas, I can't remember now. Oh, his hand. Yeah, he hurt his hand. I'm trying to remember. And he's going to be a few weeks yet.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All good?